Boys and girls, this week in math, we're going to be talking about two-dimensional shapes, or what we call plane shapes. And I wanted to go through this Nearpod lesson with you to introduce you to shapes before we work on the pages that go along in our math book. So plane shapes. In this lesson, you should be able to identify, classify, and to sort plane shapes. Do you know your shapes? How many shapes can you name? So, some of the shapes that Mr. Johnson can name are a triangle that has 3 sides, a square that has 4 equal sides, a rectangle that has 2 long sides and 2 short sides, and a circle that is round. Those are just some of the shapes that I can name. So take a look at the different shapes below. What do we notice that all of these shapes have in common? All of these shapes are what? Are they closed or are they open? All of these shapes are open shapes. Now, take a look at the different shapes below. What do you notice that all of these shapes have in common? All of these shapes are closed shapes. The shapes in the box on the left, my left, your right, these shapes are open. They're called open shapes. The shapes in the box on my right, your left, these shapes are closed. These are called closed shapes. Now, some closed shapes have special names such as triangle, circle, square, rectangle, and more. These shapes are called plane shapes or 2D shapes. 2D means two-dimensional. Plane shapes are flat, closed shapes. Take a look at some common plane shapes on the next 2 pages. What do you notice about them? How are they similar and how are they different? The first shape that we notice, the green shape, it is a 3-sided shape. It is a what? A triangle. The yellow shape in the middle is round in shape. It is a circle. The orange shape that has 4 equal sides is called a square. The red shape down at the bottom has how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's also a 4-sided shape. It is called a trapezoid. The grayish shape in the center is a rhombus. It also has 4 equal sides, and we would say that it's in the shape of a diamond. But this is called a rhombus. And the last blue shape that we have is a 4-sided shape. It has 2 long sides and also 2 short sides, and we call this a rectangle. More plane shapes, we have a 5-sided shape. Anytime you hear 5, you should hear the word this. You should hear penta, P-E-N-T-A. So this is a pentagon. Penta means 5. The yellow shape in the middle is a hexagon. Anytime you hear hexa, H-E-X-A, you should know that it is a 6-sided figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The pink shape is an octagon. Anytime you hear the word octa, you should automatically think octopus. And an octopus has how many tentacles? 8. So we know anytime we see octa, we know we're going to have a 8-sided shape. And the last blue one down at the bottom looks circular in nature, but it's not a complete circle. It is called a oval. So look at the shapes. We're going to sort these shapes by size and by color. And we're going to write the numbers of the shapes that are the same size. We have shape 6. It's a square. Shape 4 is also a square. And these two are the same size. And we also have 3 and 5. The same shape, we have the triangles 1, 5, and 7. We have our circles 2, 3, and 8. And we have our squares 4 and 6. Now, if we want to look at shapes that are the same color, 1 and 7 are both green. 4 and 2 are yellow. And 6 and 8 are orange. There are other ways that you can sort shapes as well. In addition to sorting shapes by size and color, you can also sort shapes by the number of sides and corners. Sides are straight lines. Corners are where the sides meet. So where these two sides meet, this is called a corner. And this straight line is considered a side. So we would say that this shape has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides and 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. Some shapes have sides and corners, but some do not. Can you figure out the shapes that do not have them? A triangle has 3 sides and 3 corners. A circle has 0 sides because it goes around, and it has no corners because there's no lines that meet. We take a look at the square. The square has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and also 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4. Our trapezoid has how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, and it also has 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. Our rectangle has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides and 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. Our rhombus has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides and 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. So out of the 6 shapes that you see before you, the square, the trapezoid, the rectangle, and the rhombus all have 4 sides and 4 corners. The triangle has 3 sides and 3 corners, and the circle has no sides and no corners. Now we have the pentagon. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners. The oval, again, is circular in nature. It has no sides because it has no straight lines, and it has no corners because there's nowhere that two lines meet on an oval. An octagon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides, and then, excuse me, if we go back and look, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 corners where two lines come together to meet. Our last shape is the hexagon. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corners. All right, let's take a little assessment together. What is this shape? A triangle. What is this shape? Circle. What is this shape? Square. What is this shape? A hexagon. What is this shape? Trapezoid. And this shape is a rhombus. How many sides does a triangle have? 3. How many sides does a circle have? 0. How many sides does the square have? 4. And what is unique about the square? All of the square sides are equal. The hexagon has how many sides? 6. The trapezoid has 4, and the rhombus has 4. So shapes with 4 sides are the rhombus, the trapezoid, the square. How many sides and corners are there? How many sides do we see on the triangle? We have 1, 2, 3. 3 straight lines. Now, how many corners do we have where two lines meet? 1, 2, 3. So a triangle has 3 sides and 3 corners. Our second shape is the trapezoid, and it has how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4 straight lines, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, and the corners are where two lines meet. All right, this is our video on shapes, 2D shapes or two-dimensional shapes that I wanted to go over you with. I'll see you back in just a minute so that we can go over our math pages that we need to complete on today.